Kristen with Airport Improvement Magazine, and today I am here with Eileen Gregory from Trinity Highway Rentals. Hello, Eileen.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Okay, so Eileen, tell our viewers, who is Trinity Highway Rentals and what do you do?
So, Trinity offers a variety of different products throughout different construction segments. And what's really unique is that it all comes together at the airport for us.
Okay, so as I understand, some of your products will help route passengers and visitors to the airports to the safest ways around construction. Could you maybe explain that a little better than I just did?
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer a variety of different kinds of barricades. And what they are is they're used as like a channelizing device to help really promote safety. So they can be used, let's say, on the runway, the taxiway. We have specific barricades for that. And then we also have different barricades that are that can be used in other segments that are ADA compliant, can be used in rental car spaces, if you're building a garage or a parking deck. Really, we have it all.
So people might not think barricades is a very sexy topic, right? But
No.
you have a specific kind of barricade that works well for the airport space called Aerocade. Can you
Yeah.
tell us more about that and what makes it stand apart?
So what it is, it's actually a collapsible, it's 10 inches tall, water-filled barricade. And why it's so important to have it to be collapsible is, let's say you have a jet that's coming and it needs to run it over for whatever reason. It's not going to create any kind of FOD. And it's really there to guide the plane, but it's not going to obstruct it or cause any harm or damage. And that's what kind of makes it so great.
Well, that is interesting. You're saying if a jet has to run into a barricade for any reason, it's there to slow it down, but it won't create FOD.
Yes, absolutely. Like what I'm trying to get at is that it's like a safety device, and what it has flags and it has lights. So you're really using it to kind of like steer the plane away from the construction zone. But just in case, for whatever reason, if something were to happen, where heavens forbid a jet does need to like immediately land or whatever the case may be, nobody's going to get injured if it does run over the Aerocade because it is collapsible.
Okay, and that's different from what some of your competitors offer?
What's different is, I think a lot of times what airports will use, like this is a newer product. So a lot of airports in the past have really just used like sand and in a bucket, like a Home Depot bucket, with a flag or just a light. And while our Aerocade does have lights and flags, it's just an additional safety feature on a construction zone.
And safety's pretty critical, and there's so many construction projects going on. Have you seen any difference in the uptick or people doing different things with construction now since the pandemic in the last 6 months?
Yeah, absolutely. So construction has been deemed an essential business. And because of that, we are deemed essential as well. Now is kind of the time, I think, where like government agencies have really taken advantage of less people being on the roads and traveling through airports just to get maintenance done. Because I feel like, as we are slowly getting back to opening and slowly becoming a society again, we've really just kind of taken the time to be methodical and do maintenance on things like roadways, including our airports. So, and our taxiways and our runways. I've seen a lot of construction throughout the airports within the tri-state area. And I think that that's wonderful.
So if an airport needs products from you guys, do they always rent all of the products, or are there specific products that they would buy versus rent?
So what's unique about Trinity is that we do sell our product, but we also rent it. And it really depends on the duration and how long you will need it. We also offer ancillary products such as a lighted X runway closure marker, which is something that's unique to us. A lot of times an airport will have that, will just have that in their maintenance fleet. But a lot of times a construction company is expected to bring one along with them. And a lot of times it's not really economical for them to have their own. So we do offer that in a rental as well.
What would make besides the fact that you offer the rentals and the different options, which airports always appreciate that kind of flexibility and budget, right? Because sometimes their scope creeps up, or sometimes they don't need as much as they thought they would. So what else makes Trinity different? Like, what makes airports choose Trinity for their projects?
So we've actually been in the game for a long time. So Trinity acquired like the Yodoc Wall Company, and Mr. Yodoc actually is one of the original creators of the water-filled barricade. Transitioning that back to the airport, since we've been in the game for a long time, we've really put the customer first and their safety. So we've really been methodical about our product. So like a great example about that, or with that in general, is our barricades have 2 drain plugs, one on each side. And that's so that when you are draining the barricade, you are not in the line of traffic, which is a huge hazard. It's a huge safety hazard. And most people don't really think about that. So being that we've been in the industry for so long, we've also kind of been able to tweak and follow regulations and obtain certifications to make sure that we are top of mind when people call us.
I'm picturing, if somebody wants to drain the water out of an Aerocade barrier, it's kind of like a cooler, when the ice is melted and you're letting the water out. And you said there's a plug on each side. So you're saying that depending on which way the traffic's going or which way you want the water to flow, you have the option to let it out on either side, because it's a lot easier than moving it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And something else that really sets us apart too, is that we are such a large entity. So we do have multiple locations across the US, as well as multiple distributors. So with that being said, we like to think that we can really crank them out if we need to. So if you call us, today and you're like, hey, like we need this tomorrow, it's dire, we will try to make that happen for you. We will bend over backwards to make sure that you have what you need.
Everybody needs that for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Eileen, what kind of trends are you seeing in construction? Like what's affecting the flow of construction at airports right now?
Well, COVID, obviously. But, we really feel like things are picking up. Things are starting to go back to normal.
What advice would you give an airport that is embarking on a big construction project and they're not sure where to start in terms of how to channel passengers and visitors to the airport safely? What would you start with first? How would you attack a project?
I would definitely have them give us a call. We can definitely help with that. Just between our Aerocade and just our ancillary products, we can definitely help them out.
So Yodoc's been around for a long time, right? Is that the secret sauce?
Yeah. We so for Yodoc, So Yodox can be used anywhere. So what's really neat about it is that it is, well, so what's really great about Yodox are they're very versatile, especially in today's world. They can be used in an event space. They can be used outside in outside dining. They can be used to create pedestrian pathways, to hold signage, be used as ballasts, and it's high visibility again, and they're pretty heavy. You know, empty 85 pounds, filled with water 900 pounds.
Wow,
Yeah,
900 pounds.
900 pounds. Yep. So really, I think what also sets ours apart, and just going back to, you know, we've been in the game for a long time and we've really been customer oriented. With our Yodox, they are actually a little bit thicker than everybody else's on the market. Again, we have the 2 drain plugs, but we also have our forklift holes. We have these holes that we use for forklifts, and they're reinforced. If somebody were to, if it were to spring a leak, we can also repair them, and that's huge. Most people don't realize that. That's another secret sauce of Trinity, is that our barricades are repairable. So, because they're expensive. Like, if we're being honest, you know, they're going to cost more than your lunch money. So if it does get damaged, then you really, you know, you hate to throw them away. So just give us a call and we'll see if we can fix them.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Eileen. I will post up the website to Trinity Highway Rentals here at the end. And thanks for joining Airport Improvement.